Once upon a time, there were two astronauts who found themselves stranded on the moon. But these were no ordinary astronauts, they were the hairiest people you had ever seen, with thick fur covering their entire bodies. They had been on a mission to explore the moon's surface when their spacecraft malfunctioned and left them marooned in space. At first, the two astronauts were distraught. They had no way to contact Earth and no idea how long they would survive on the barren lunar landscape. But as they explored their surroundings, they began to notice some strange things happening. For one, they discovered that they had the ability to communicate telepathically, something that they had never experienced before. They also noticed that their hair was growing at an alarming rate, sprouting up inches in just a matter of days. As they wandered the moon's surface, they stumbled upon a series of interconnected tunnels that seemed to stretch on for infinity. It was in these tunnels that they discovered an entire world of strange creatures, some of which were even hairier than they were. They soon realized that they had landed in a parallel universe, one where the laws of physics and nature were completely different from anything they had ever known. As they explored this strange new world, the astronauts encountered all sorts of bizarre creatures and phenomena. They witnessed a colony of giant, telepathic bees building a hive out of lunar dust. They stumbled upon a pack of moon wolves, their fur shimmering in the reflected light of the sun. And they even encountered a sentient, talking moon rock that offered to help them find their way back home. But as they journeyed deeper into the tunnels, things began to take a turn for the surreal. They found themselves confronted with a series of maddening, impossible twists and turns that seemed to defy all logic and reason. They encountered rooms that grew and shrank at random, tunnels that twisted in impossible ways, and even entire sections of the moon's surface that seemed to be made entirely out of cheese. As they journeyed further and further into the infinite tunnels, the hair of the astronauts grew wilder and more out of control. But they refused to give up hope, clinging to the belief that they would one day find their way back home. They dreamed of the day they would once again feel the grass under their feet and the sun on their faces. "Ugh, I feel like we've been walking for days," Harry groaned, wiping his brow. "We must be close to something." Suddenly, they spotted a glimmering light in the distance. As they approached, they realized it was a massive, intricate machine, made up of gears and pistons, whirring and clanking together in a hypnotic symphony. "What is this thing?" Jack asked, staring in awe. Harry shrugged. "No idea, but I've got a feeling it's important. Let's go check it out." As they got closer, the machine suddenly whirred to life, and they found themselves being sucked inside. The gears and pistons engulfed them, and they felt their bodies contort and shift. When they finally emerged, they were no longer hairy, but instead, they were completely hairless. They looked at each other in disbelief, but then they noticed something even more bizarre. Their surroundings had changed completely. They were no longer on the moon, but instead, they were in a beautiful, lush forest, teeming with life. "What the hell is going on?" Jack exclaimed. But Harry just smiled. "I don't know, but I've got a feeling we're exactly where we're supposed to be." As they wandered through the forest, they discovered that they had been transported to a parallel universe, where they were tasked with saving the world from an impending apocalypse. The two of them set off on their journey, encountering strange and surreal characters along the way, including a talking cat, a tree that could grant wishes, and a giant squid that could control time. Their journey was full of twists and turns, and they faced countless obstacles and challenges. But through it all, they remained determined and resolute, knowing that the fate of the world was in their hands. Finally, they arrived at the center of the universe, where they were confronted by the source of the apocalypse. It was a massive, otherworldly creature, made up of pure darkness and chaos. But Harry and Jack refused to back down. They stood together, facing the creature head-on, and as they did, they realized that they were stronger than they ever could have imagined. Together, they channeled all their energy and strength, and with a burst of blinding light, they defeated the creature once and for all. As the dust settled, they looked around, awestruck at what they had accomplished. And then, they realized something even more incredible. They had been given the power to control the universe, and with a single thought, they could create anything they wanted. With a grin, Harry turned to Jack. "What do you say we create something truly amazing?" Jack nodded, his eyes shining with excitement. "Let's do it," he said, a huge grin spreading across his face. The two men closed their eyes and focused all their energy on the task at hand. Suddenly, they felt their bodies begin to shift and contort, and when they opened their eyes again, they were both amazed at what they saw. Harry was now taller and leaner, with rippling muscles and jet black hair that cascaded down his back in waves. Jack had transformed into a towering figure, with broad shoulders and a chiseled jawline. His hair had turned a deep shade of red, and his once plain features were now rugged and strikingly handsome. For a moment, the two men stood there, admiring their new bodies, feeling more alive than they ever had before. And then, they turned their attention back to the task at hand. With a single thought, they created a massive star system, complete with multiple planets and moons, each one more beautiful than the last. They watched in wonder as their creation spun and sparkled before them, a testament to their incredible power. The End or Part 1. To discover the whereabouts of Jack and Harry after their extraordinary creation, please don't forget to like and subscribe. The adventure is far from over.